During the olden days, exploring your body through self-pleasure was considered as a taboo. But in today's world, it is being normalized. In fact, it is being said that it is healthy. But in actual, is it? In today's episode, I will be covering a very controversial and sensitive topic. Nothing but masturbation. Is it healthy? Unhealthy? All about it so that you can understand better. Of late in my OP, we have been getting a lot of cases between the age group of 20 and 30 wherein the kids have been struggling with repeated genital infections, pelvic inflammatory diseases, urinary tract disease, paired with extreme fatigue, brain fog, lethargy, sluggishness to such an extent that they are even unable to function or do their daily chores on a regular basis. Initially, I thought it was just a case of fatigue, but upon deeper exploration, it was found that this was actually a byproduct of one of their very frequent or regular habits, nothing but masturbation. But is masturbation exactly the culprit? As per the modern science, when you get into masturbation, there cannot be anything harmful, but just a positive such that you can get rid of stress, fatigue, better sleep. And that is because semen is just considered as a vehicle to transfer your sperm into the genital tract and nothing more. But as per the Ayurvedic anatomy and physiology, the functionality of semen is something more deeper. And allow me to take you through the same so that you understand what you are actually getting into. If you see, as per Ayurvedic science and even modern science, a single cell is what the body is first formed of. It is from that through cellular mitosis and meiosis that the entire body is formed. Now this begins from nourishing the first cell. So whatever is actually being fed to the cell forms a first tissue, which is called plasma or rasudhatu. Furthermore, there are 7 other tissues that are being successively being formed. And that goes like rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asti, maja and shukra. Once all the 7 are formed healthy, only then the 8th and the most important one, which is the innate energy and your immunity that keeps your health intact, is formed. And that is ojas. Now for the formation of ojas, it is important to have all the 7 tissues well formed, intact, and then converted to the last and the 8th one. If any one of these are hampered, specifically if the 7th one is constantly being depleted, which is your shukra dhatu or semen, similar secretions in women, then it is not getting converted into ojas. Now once there is lack of formation of ojas, you are bound to feel fatigued, tired, brain fog, excessive hair fall and dry scaly skin. And these were exactly the symptoms being shown by most of the patients. Here, I would like to take out 3 cases. Case number 1, a 26-year-old girl. She has been struggling with pelvic inflammatory disease, repeated urinary tract infections, fatigue, extreme hair fall, weight loss, and a very interesting symptom. Her lower abdomen feels empty. This is exactly the symptom that she was talking about. Like as though there is air-trapped hollowness out there. Ayurvedically understood, it is actually shunyada or emptiness, typically something a person experiences when your intestine is being trapped more of air or there is increased dryness. Now, as I tried understanding what has been happening with her, she said that over the past 4 years, she has been trying to take various kinds of medications, including repeated antibiotics and Ayurvedic medications for her infection. So it is quite clear that it was not just a case of infection, because in that case, it would have gotten treated and fixed. Then I tried to understand why exactly was her body repeatedly falling prey to the infection. Isn't her body supporting her? Isn't her immunity strong enough to support her condition? It was found that because she was losing energy on a regular basis, not just by the regular activities, but also the fact that she was getting into the act of masturbation up to 2 times a day, and this cycle was being repeated 4 to 6 times a week. which was actually leading to the extreme fatigue. Now, when I try to understand why this habit at the first place, she was like, she got into the habit of being happy with herself or finding joy with herself at a very young age because there were a lot of issues in her family. And so as to distract herself from that, since the age of 18, she got into this habit and now she is unable to be out of it. Even when she is aware of the fact that it could be this that is actually depleting her health. So you see, the problem is not just the act of masturbation. It is about the frequency at which you are doing it, whether your body can support that much of loss of energy. So that being the case, on one side, while we were trying to make her slowly withdraw from the habit of frequent masturbation, on the other side, instead of trying to treat her infection, we tried fixing her immunity, health, in other words, ojas. And that is how we could take her out of the vicious cycle of repeated infections, fatigue, and even improve the quality of her life. The second case is that of a 32-year-old male. His main concern was that he was struggling with extreme brain fog, hair fall, fatigue, especially during the day. When we tried understanding his case, the nutrition seemed fine. He was a person who used to be active during the day, working out, all going good. But there was this deep cause of concern that was haunting him from within. The fact that he was unable to consummate his marriage. It's been 2 years, he has not been feeling any kind of interest towards his wife. Upon deeper exploration, he happened to open up that from the age of 14, he has been into solo masturbation, which has been taking care of his needs. And today, even after 2 years of marriage, the real life scenario has not been able to trigger the same kind of excitement in him. So you see, it is not just the act of masturbation, whether it is healthy or not, but it is also about various other factors that is surrounding the same. In this case, it was the far from reality act that is actually worsening the situation out here. But in real life, often it is dependent on various other factors. Now, let's move on to a couple of common questions that have been asked on this topic in our Instagram Q&A. Can masturbation lead to impotency? Yes, if you have been doing it very frequently, wherein you're already experiencing the symptoms of Vajrasham, which is extreme fatigue, too much of bloating, constipation, or frequent bowels, dry skin, dry hair, inability to focus on any kind of activity, insomnia, etc., then in that case, it will lead to impotency. Does increased act of masturbation can lead to any kind of hormone imbalance? Yes, very much. As I've already mentioned, Shukra and Ojas, both of these are actually sum total of many of the hormones in your body, including thyroid hormone, cortisol, and sex hormones. When there is depletion of this, it can affect your menstrual health, rate of metabolism, stress resilience. Can masturbation lead to tubular block? Yes, and that is because when you do it very frequently, chances are that there will be Apana-Vata imbalance. In other words, it will lead to flaccidity of hollow organs inside your body, including flattening of your intestine, uterus, and even fallopian tube. How often can one indulge in masturbation? Technically, only when you have a natural, strong urge, it should be addressed. Not the one that you are stimulating with exaggerated visual stimuli. Or if you feel that you're a person with very poor self-control, in that case, you need to work on your self-control so that you can reduce the frequency to once or at the most twice per week, and nothing more than that. Last and the most frequently asked question, how to tackle the urge? The first question is, are you actually getting a real urge, or are you stimulating one? If you're stimulating it exaggeratedly, then in that case, stop doing that. Second, if you are getting a strong urge, because you have not been frequently getting into the act of intercourse, then in that case, if the urge is strong, you can get into it. But if you really want to preserve your energy and utilize it for other purpose, or elevating yourself with the spiritual aspect of yours, in that case, try abstaining. Instead, if you want to live a normal social life, wherein spiritual journey, spiritual awakening is not a thing for you, then in that case, Utilize that energy into exercising or any other kind of activities and attend to that urge only when it is absolutely strong. If you have got any more queries, you can let me know in the comments and I'll be attending to the same.